Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So doing a video from the range today. However, it's not going to be that great simply because I kind of left my tripod at home. So I doubt, unless I can figure out a way to set this thing up, maybe prop it up against something to film me actually shooting this rifle. Probably not going to get a lot of shooting footage, but I did just want to sort of do a quick overview of what this is, and we'll go from there, right? We don't have an optic on it just yet. That's something I got to go pick up some rings for this rifle. This is a Ruger M77 Hawkeye, and I showed the cartridge. I actually took a picture of the cartridge and I posted it over on the community tab of the channel. Now, the cartridge that is chambered in is a pretty awesome cartridge, right? And it's one that doesn't really get a ton of fanfare, right? It's this guy right here. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh man, 300 Wisdom, that's what I'm talking about. Wrong. This cartridge is almost dimensionally, well, dimensionally it's very similar. I don't want to say almost identical, but dimensionally very, very close. This is the 300 Ruger Compact Magnum. So this is a cartridge that I've kind of been interested in for quite a while, and that's kind of why the X-Bolt had to sort of take its little journey and go off and be gotten rid of, because this thing popped up on Cabela's used gun website and I had to have it. So it's got iron sights on it. That's what I'm going to shoot today. I ended up picking up 2 boxes of this factory ammunition. This is the Hornady Precision Hunter. I think Midway USA had this stuff on sale. It was like 40 bucks for a box, which seems kind of cheap, but makes sense because nobody shoots this cartridge anymore. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't even think anyone chambers rifles in it anymore. I don't even know if Ruger still does. Maybe they do. But yeah, this and the 338 Ruger Compact Magnum, really interested in that cartridge as well. But yeah, this is very similar to a 300 Win Short Mag. It came out after the 300 Win Short Mag, but essentially the whole point of it was Ruger wanted something that it was a what do you call that? It was where Hornady and Ruger teamed up, right, to develop this cartridge, and pretty much what they were trying to accomplish was delivering Magnum performance in a 20-inch barrel. That's what this whole cartridge was designed around, and this has a 20-inch barrel, but that's exactly what it was designed around, was a 20-inch barrel. So kind of like what you're seeing now, all the cool kids, they want to chop their barrels, and that's why the 7 backcountry exists. Hey, the 7 PRC is great, but when you keep chopping your barrel shorter so you can suppress it, well, you kind of start to lose performance, right? If you're trying to shoot something at extended ranges. Well, that's where the 7 backcountry comes into play, right? It's like, hey, now we have an 80,000 PSI cartridge that can deliver Magnum performance, really, really high-end performance out of an 18-inch barrel, right? That's kind of the whole point. That's why that cartridge even exists. Well, they were doing this back in 2007, I think, is when this was released. So, but yeah, partnership between Hornady and Ruger. Where this cartridge really shines, according to the load data that I can find, especially, like, there's a lot of load data in the Hornady manual, but the powder that really, really helps push this cartridge and make it what it is Hodgdon Superformance. So again, that's a powder that Hornady helped develop, and supposedly it works great in this guy. So I've got 40 rounds that I need to shoot, and I don't really care about the performance of the factory ammunition because I'm going to hand load for it anyway. So I'm just going to shoot iron sights today, hope that I even hit paper. If I don't care. I just need to shoot these 40 rounds, get the brass, and then I've got a mountain of 30 cal bullets that I need to start testing. But I've got to get scope rings. I believe my plan is to put that Burris 2-8 by 35 that I have. I think I'm going to put it on here. I believe it will fit. That's a short scope, but I think it'll fit. But I have to get some rings. And the problem with this Ruger proprietary mount is you have to buy individual rings, because there's like the rear piece is a little bit lower than the front. So you can't just buy a set of, hey, let me get those Ruger, 1-inch medium rings. You can't buy a set of them because it ain't gonna work. The scope ain't gonna line up. So you have to actually get 2 different height rings, which is kind of a pain in the butt, gotta be honest with you, but it is what it is. So I've got to go get some of those rings. Haven't done it yet. Today's just gonna be iron sight stuff. If I can figure out a way to prop this up so you guys can, I can video the shooting, I will. But this is delivering a bit of a punch, and this rifle only weighs 6 pounds, 12 ounces. So it's probably gonna have a decent amount of recoil. Think in terms of like case capacity, you can think like up to 60, I think what I was seeing was up to like above 65 grains in some cases, in some instances with the load data. So you can think like from 55 up to like closer to 70 grains of powder, right? Somewhere in that range. You get an idea, right? Very similar to like a 280 Ackley, 270 Winchester. Just, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of think in terms of that grain weight of powder that we're pushing, and it's a 6 pound, 12 ounce rifle. So that's it. That's where we're going to leave it here with the intro. Let me fiddle around, see if I can get you guys propped up. If not, we'll just head back to the house and we'll talk about it more in depth, and kind of maybe if I get on target, we'll see what I can do with iron sights at 100 yards. So you guys stand by. All right, guys and gals, whoever tunes into this channel. So that's a pretty sweet rifle, wouldn't you agree? That M77 Hawkeye, there's just something about it. Super classic. And you should be looking at results right now. I should be showing you, some range footage, because I was able to actually sort of get my phone stood up on my tripod for my spotting scope. I had everything rigged up, it's going to throw in some shooting footage. The problem is you got to be able to shoot the gun to have shooting footage, or footage of you shooting the gun. You got to physically be able to shoot it. Guess what? Can't do it. We got a problem. So just like the title says, new gun, new cartridge, new problem. This is a new problem to me. I've never had this happen before. And I keep looking off in the distance. I'm actually at the gym right now. I just got done working out. And I'm looking across this, what I'm assuming is either a soybean, I think it's a cotton field. Either way, I can't tell if that's a deer all the way across the field, so it keeps grabbing my attention. But, so yeah, new gun, new cartridge, new problem. The problem is you can't chamber around and actually fire the rifle. Can't do it. Impossible. The round will not chamber. It is a 300 Ruger Compact Magnum, stamped right there on the barrel, chambered for the 300 Ruger Compact Magnum cartridge, which I bought a couple boxes from Hornady, their precision hunter stuff. The issue is with the bolt itself, particularly the bolt face. Somewhere along the line, I don't know when or where or how, this rifle had the bolt swapped out. It's supposed to have a Magnum bolt face. It has a standard bolt face. So I went to try to chamber a couple of the rounds, and the bolt would not grab it. It's a control round feed, would not grab the cartridge. I'm like, what's going on here? So I did a little bit of investigating on what was happening, what was causing that issue, and started looking at the bolt face, and sure enough, it will hold my the bolt itself, the bolt face will hold my 270 Winchester, my 280 Ackley improved, those cartridges. Think standard bolt face, 470 diameter. That's, I guess, standard bolt face, whatever you want to call it. And that's what's in this rifle. It's a short action bolt, because it's an actual short action cartridge. But the bolt face that's in this particular Ruger M77, somewhere along the line got swapped up. Now, this rifle, again, I bought it used from Cabela's. This thing was actually sent back to Ruger in 2008
2008 for some type of warranty work. Now that's 2008, that's 17 years ago. So it's very possible that the bolt was swapped at the factory, because I actually called Ruger and I was like, hey, I sent him an email first reaching out to him, hey, I got an issue, basically gave him the story, here's what happened. So they responded and was like, hey, call the customer hotline or helpline or whatever it is, call customer service. So I actually got in touch. The guy that picked up the phone was actually the guy that responded to my little inquiry or whatever, where I told what the situation was. He was like, oh yeah, I remember reading that. He's like, man, it's really weird, we apologize. He's like, that definitely could have happened when the rifle was shipped back to us in the first place back in 2008 when we did some repair work on it or warranty work or whatever it was. He was like, somebody could have just, we had some short action bolts laying around, somebody just grabbed one, threw it in, and didn't think twice about it. He's like, that's a definite possibility. Now, it is possible, and it's just, I'm trying to figure out where in the chain of events this could have occurred, because if you think about it, that's 17 years ago. That means this gun has either been sitting in someone's inventory or sitting in someone's gun collection or something for 17 years, and it was never fired because you can't fire it. You can't operate the rifle. It will not function. You can't physically close the bolt to even chamber around and fire the weapon. So yeah, that was a deer over there, by the way. I think that was a buck too. Yeah, I'm almost positive. So let's get on the road. Leaving the gym now, but yeah, so that's the situation. A little unfortunate, right? Kind of frustrating. Not kind of frustrating, it just is frustrating, period. I mean, that's very frustrating, right? Go and order a gun, and then, I mean, again, I bought it used, so weird things happen when you're going down the used firearm route. It's just, I was trying to think of where in the chain of events that a bolt swap could have taken place. I mean, it only makes sense that it was at the Ruger, like at Ruger's manufacturing facility. That's the only thing I could think of, because I'm looking at it from a gun owner's point of view. I don't own that many guns. I don't own that many rifles. Like, I'm not necessarily the opposite of Hootie Hoo, but like when you watch some of his videos, I don't know how he's got a place to sit. Like, the dude's got guns everywhere. And well, I'm the opposite. I've got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 rifles. That's like at most at any one time. That's what I own. And so I'm looking at it from the gun owner's point of view. I don't see how you swap bolts, like, say, because that was one thing the guy brought up on the phone. He was like, I don't know, maybe the last person that owned it, maybe they were cleaning their rifles, maybe they swapped one of the bolts. Do you not shoot your guns? You know what I'm saying? Like, you clean them up, you just put them away, never to think twice about them. I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. But that's what happened. That's why you're not getting any awesome range footage. That's why you're not getting any awesome range results. Whatever. Of course, that did give. I've got the gun sent off to Ruger now. I took it over to Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville, because the guy from Ruger, he was like, you got a couple of options. You can send it in yourself. We'll give you a shipping label. And you can send it in yourself, or you can go through your FFL. I'm going through my preferred FFL, which is Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville, simply because I don't want to, I just don't want to be responsible for having to ship that thing off and deal with all that. And it's going to be much easier if I just drop it off to them, which I've already done. I dropped it off to them, and then dropped it off to them. I'm going to let them do their thing. 18-wheeler making a pretty wide turn right there. I had to wait on him to get by. But I dropped it off to them. They've already shipped it off to Ruger. The guy did give me like a 6-8 week, something like that. I think it's a 6 to 8 week turnaround time. Again, frustrating. You buy the gun and now you got to wait even longer. My scope rings did come in though. I've got a set of, it's whatever Ruger, like Ruger will sell them in a set because they have those proprietary rings, you know, the weird Ruger mounting system that they have proprietary rings. So, but they also sell rings in a set because you have to buy them individually for the M77 because of the way the action, the way the scope mounting is. You actually have to have 2 different height rings. So, but Ruger sells them in a set as well. So I've got a set. I think they're actually in the floorboard over here. I think it's like a medium and a high, maybe. It's a 1-inch set, or for a 1-inch scope tube. I'm gonna put that Burris, I believe it's the 2 to 8 by 35 on there. That's the scope that I'm hoping will fit perfectly on that rifle. I think it's gonna look great because again, it's a short, compact, I believe 20-inch barrel on the rifle. So that short scope, I think is gonna look really good on it. So that's it. That's the update. You know, that's kind of a womp situation, right? Like I was really excited about shooting that gun, messing around with that cartridge. I'm really looking forward to that, but it happens. So that's it. That's where we're gonna leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned kind of to follow along on this saga. You know, one project turns into another, so on and so forth. So that's it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. I got baptized, praise God. So we'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.